At the beginning of part 3, Jay is full of excitement at the festival, cheering louder than anyone. She enjoys her time until David and Calix show up to tease her, trying to take her food. She scolds them, reminding them they're rich enough to buy their own. Soon, they both leave, making Jay realize she's alone, feeling like a typical single person. To lift her mood, she buys ice cream and eyes a game she wants to play. Meanwhile, Kiefer films her, annoying her at first, but then he notices she wants a teddy bear prize. He tries to win it for her, but embarrassingly fails. To make it up to her, he promises to win the upcoming music competition just for her. That night, Jay and Kiefer share a security shift. She hums her favorite song, but when he asks about her mother, her mood shifts. She doesn't want to talk about her. Kiefer, on the other hand, expresses the opposite sentiment. Suddenly, a classmate stumbles toward them, acting strangely. They approach him, but notice a creepy doll nearby, which sends them both screaming. Even Kiefer, who tries to act fearless, bolts in terror. The next day, their school competes in a basketball match against a rival team. Their team struggles at first, but Jay, sitting between Yuri and Kiefer, jokes about being lucky to be surrounded by handsome guys. When a foul is finally called, their team gets a chance to turn the game around. Jay notices Felix, eager to play, and convinces the coach to put him in. He enters the game, and in the final seconds, he scores the winning shot. The team celebrates, hoisting him up, while Jay enjoys the moment with her lucky charms, Kiefer and Yuri. Later, in the dorm, the guys practice dancing for an upcoming performance, with CN visibly nervous. But the moment his crush, Rocky, arrives, he gathers his confidence and takes her out on a date. Jay watches, feeling the sting of being single again. Just then, her ex, Salim, approaches, asking for a favor, but she ignores him. Meanwhile, Felix thanks Jay for convincing the coach to let him play and invites her to a secret party hosted by the basketball captain. The next day, the dance competition kicks off. Their dorm's team delivers an impressive performance, but the festival's host, a notorious bully, initially hypes them up because they're classmates. However, when she learns their team name is Jay's Warriors, she mocks them, embarrassing Jay. It turns out Kiefer and Zay chose the name. Jay is speechless, but with their team already on stage, she has no choice but to accept it. To everyone's surprise, the performance is a hit. The audience cheers, but the bully refuses to acknowledge their success. Still, their flawless execution leaves no doubt that they were among the best performers. The singing competition kicks off with Rocky impressing everyone with her beautiful voice, while Jay stands in the crowd holding hands with Denzel and another guy, because, of course, she's always in the middle of two men. When Reiki finishes, Jay searches for CN, annoyed that he left his girlfriend alone. Soon, it's Kiefer's turn, and he stuns Jay by singing her favorite song, the one she told him about days ago. As she listens, memories of him flood her mind, and she has a shocking realization. She likes him. Kiefer's performance is flawless, winning over both the judges and the audience. Afterward, Yuri casually tells Jay that Kiefer chose the song for her. When Kiefer himself appears, he smirks and asks for a "thank you," teasing her when she mumbles it shyly. Embarrassed, she makes an excuse and rushes off. That night, while on security duty with Yuri, Jay confesses that she's struggling with feelings for someone who has hurt her before. Yuri wisely tells her, "You can't stop your heart." She jokingly calls him an expert and asks if he's in love. He admits he is, but the girl he loves is completely oblivious. Jay, being blunt, tells him to move on, but Yuri refuses. "She's special," he says, and we all know exactly who he means. The next day, CN prepares for a competition while dressed as a girl, earning laughs from everyone. Meanwhile, Jay, dressed in men's clothing, gets a message from her ex's mother. Kiefer, ever the nosy one, grabs her phone but respects her privacy enough to answer the call himself. Later, disaster strikes before Yuri's solo competition. Someone lost his music. The festival's bully enjoys his misfortune, but Yuri's crew saves the day by handing him a guitar. He delivers a breathtaking performance, singing a romantic song that has couples hugging everywhere. Kiefer leans over to whisper to Jay, "He's singing for the girl he loves." Shocked and overwhelmed, Jay walks away, leaving Yuri disappointed. Outside, Jay finds Denzel's ex crying. She learns that although Denzel is taking care of her for their child's sake, he refuses to get back together with her, even though she still loves him. Unable to stay quiet, Jay confronts him in front of everyone, demanding to know why. Denzel, emotional, confesses he believes his ex will never forgive him, but she overhears and steps in, saying she does love him and will forgive him if he comes back to her. They reconcile, leaving everyone feeling lonely and reflective. Jay, lost in her own emotions, finally responds to her ex's mother and decides to visit him in the hospital. When he wakes up, the first thing he asks about is her. But Jay doesn't remember what happened between them. When he desperately grabs her hand and begs her to stay, she panics and runs away. His sister follows, accusing Jay of being the reason for his suffering, leaving her even more confused. Back at school, CNA is furious at Jay for missing their competition, and Cookie scolds her for ignoring his calls. Overwhelmed, Jay snaps, saying she can't always be there for everyone. She locks herself in her room, feeling emotionally drained, but Yuri, ever the kind-hearted one, refuses to leave her alone. He sits beside her and teaches her how to play the guitar. As they sit close together, tension builds. Jay zones out, staring at him, and he leans in. The moment is intense, and it's clear where things are headed. But just then, Kiefer appears, watching them, with a trophy in his hand. Their team won Best Band, and he was about to give the award to Jay, just like he promised. But now? He stands there, frozen, his eyes locked on the scene. Jay panics, realizing she might be cheating on him, at least emotionally. Torn between Yuri and Kiefer, she grabs her bag and flees. Meanwhile, Yuri and Kiefer exchange unreadable glances. A storm is brewing, and it's clear. This love triangle is about to explode. Jay finds herself in a strange place, completely disoriented with no idea what happened to her. Faint memories begin to surface. She recalls that Keiko, the scoundrel, was getting too close to her. The thought shocks her, especially when she realizes her own blood is boiling with anger. Fear creeps in. What if what she remembers is true? She grips her head tightly, pulling at her hair in frustration, trying to recall more details. Then it all starts coming back. After Yuri got close to her and Kiefer saw them together, she had run away. The next day, she went with Felix to the party they had planned to attend. Felix was happy and grateful to her. Because of her, he had returned to playing basketball again. But as soon as they arrived, they felt uneasy. The people there looked strange, their behavior even stranger. Then Keiko appeared, welcoming them in as if the place was theirs. That's when they discovered that Keiko wasn't just a guest. He was the owner of the house and the host of the party. He was already drunk and barely in control of himself. As they entered, the scene was wild, chaotic, loud, completely out of hand. Jay tried to talk to someone, but she must have looked like a fool in the crowd. Keiko grabbed a mic, thanking Felix, saying he was the reason for their victory. The whole room erupted, gathering around Felix to celebrate and take pictures with him. Meanwhile, Jay was starving. She started looking for food and eventually found some. She noticed a group of Vietnamese people eating ramen and casually told them, "Pretend I'm not here," before stealing a plate and running off. As she moved through the party, she spotted Mika standing with a strange man. Furious, she stormed over. "You traitor! If Calix finds out, do you know what he'll do to you?" The strange man turned around, and to her shock, it was Calix himself, disguised with a fake mustache and wearing filthy clothes. He explained that he had to sneak in like this because the division had banned them from attending. If Kiefer found out, he'd never let it slide, and besides, he couldn't stand Keiko. He advised Jay to stay for 30 more minutes, then take Felix and leave before things got out of control. She agreed, handing her food to Mika before heading to the bathroom. When she came out, she saw a sleazy guy trying to get too close to her. Before she could react, Keiko stepped in, stopping him. "No need to get upset," he told her smoothly. He then started talking to her in a way that seemed friendly, gradually luring her in until, before she realized it, she had taken a sip from the drink he handed her. Everything started spinning. Downstairs, she found Felix lying on the floor, beaten and barely conscious. "They tricked us," he muttered. "It was all a setup to trap us. You have to run." But before he could finish, Jay's vision blurred and she collapsed. She woke up in the present, unable to remember anything more. Frustrated and scared, she decided to leave the house. Everything was strangely tidy, no people, no noise. Then, suddenly, someone approached from behind, startling her. She turned to face a young man. There was something oddly familiar about him. He reminded her of Kiefer. "You should check on his little brother," he told her, explaining that Calix and his friend were outside by the swimming pool. He suggested she go meet them. Stepping outside, she saw them all sitting around, enjoying themselves, except for Felix, who looked wrecked from last night's beating. Jay ran to check on him, and he told her that the group had actually saved them. Behind her, Yuri and Kiefer appeared. Kiefer, arms crossed, asked coldly, "Why did you go to that party last night?" "I don't remember," she admitted. "How did you even find us?" "Calix sent a message," he replied. "He couldn't find you, and he was worried. He has a soft heart, you know. So he gathered his men and came for them." Jay's anger flared. "All right, which one of you bastards changed my clothes?" she demanded. "And did you look at me?" Kiefer smirked. "Relax, we didn't see anything special." He refused to explain further, clearly amused by her flustered reaction. Meanwhile, she stood there, caught between these handsome troublemakers, unable to decide who to glare at. "Take a seat, people. The way she's staring at them, you'd think she was about to eat them alive." The guys backed off and began recounting what had happened the night before. When they arrived at the party, they searched everywhere for Jay but couldn't find her. Then Garz showed up and realized she was missing. He questioned Felix, who admitted that Keiko had taken her, but no one knew where Keiko had gone, except his friends. Garz didn't hesitate. He threatened them until they spilled the location. Then he told everyone else to stay back, because what was coming next was going to be a bloodbath. While his men carried Felix out, they started beating Keiko's crew into the ground. Once they were done, they rushed upstairs, only to find Garz already there, holding Keiko by the collar, punching him mercilessly. "That bastard was trying to touch her," Garz growled. He reassured the others that Jay was safe and stepped inside to dress her himself. Well, he is her cousin, after all. When they checked on her afterward, Garz advised them to take her away before things got worse. Kiefer, ever the gentleman, carried her back to his place. And that's how she ended up here. Now, in the present, the group stood around her. Yuri smirked knowingly. "You like her, don't you?" he teased Kiefer, trying to provoke him. Kiefer rolled his eyes. "You're an idiot." Yuri pressed on. "You're too much of a coward to admit your feelings." He then suggested Kiefer take Jay out of their plans before things got dangerous. But Kiefer, stubborn as ever, refused to acknowledge his emotions. "I don't love her," he declared. "I'm sticking to my plan." His grip tightened around his cup, his frustration so intense that it cracked in his hand. Yuri fell silent for a moment, lost in thought. Back when he was on watch duty with Jay, she had asked him directly, "Do you like me? Do you have feelings for me?" He had sighed. "I can't lie to you, but I also can't confess. And I won't deny it either. I don't want to lose you." Jay had been left speechless. So what now? Are we just going to dance around this forever? But she decided to let it go. Now, Kiefer was the one sulking, because instead of paying attention to him, Jay was fussing over Felix. Felix, feeling guilty, apologized to her for taking her to the party and causing all this trouble. Jay, ever the kind soul, forgave him. Just then, Kiefer's little brother called them in for breakfast. Everyone went inside, except for Felix, who sat there, waiting for the doctor to check him out. "You really do look like crap," someone muttered. Before they go inside, Jay asks Yuri how Koki hurt his hand. He tells her that Koki got angry and smashed a glass, then warns her to stay away from Kiefer's brother because he's even worse than Kiefer himself. But in her mind, Jay thinks, no way, no one could be worse than that scoundrel. Just before dinner, Jay is surprised to see a little boy, Kiefer's youngest brother. He's sharp and observant, immediately teasing Kiefer. "Nice. You brought your girlfriend." It turns out this kid is just as cunning as his older brother, considering he's dating Yuri's little sister. Naturally, everyone starts roasting him. Isn't it a bit early for this stuff? Jay grows anxious, wanting to leave quickly because she knows her family must be worried by now. Koki reassures her that they already know where she is. Trying to lighten the mood, Yuri hands the little brother a phone. "Call my sister, she wants you," he jokes. "Didn't we already talk about this? You're too young for this nonsense." Then he turns to the others. "You guys are the real problem here, helping them out like this, you scoundrels." The next day at school, it's the last class of the term before vacation, and the school is giving them a send-off. Of course, the students, especially Jay, are celebrating. She asks Say if he actually managed to ace the exam, and he replies indifferently, "What do I care if I did or not?" Jay calls him a failure and insists there's no way he could have gotten a perfect score, so they make a deal. If he did ace it, she has to take him out for dinner, on her dime. Say refuses, so Jay raises the stakes. "Fine, I'll dye my hair." He reminds her that dyed hair is against school rules. "Oh, really? Then how come Yuri gets away with it?" she fires back. But Say reveals, that's his real hair. Jay is stunned. Then he makes another bet. "If I did ace the exam, you have to choose your favorite among us and kiss him in front of everyone." She agrees. That night, she attends a costume party for kids, and Say, ever the child at heart, is having the time of his life playing with them. At some point, Jay spots a boy who looks just like Kiefer's little brother. Confused, she brushes it off until she turns around and sees the real one behind her. "What are you doing here?" he asks. Jay jokes around with him, but he coldly reminds her, "We're not that close." Then he snatches the candy from her hands, right as Koki enters. "Fill your pockets while you're at it. Didn't I teach you any better?" Koki taunts. The little brother shoots back, "You didn't raise me at all." Oh boy, family drama. Let's save this for home, Jay thinks. Eventually, Koki leaves and Say returns, having stolen candy from a little girl. This, of course, leads to trouble when her father confronts them. But the situation takes a weird turn when the man starts hitting on Jay, asking her out. Koki steps in, snapping, "Show some respect. Can't you see I'm standing right here?" The man scoffs. "Why? Are you her dad or something?" Koki smirks. "Worse, I'm her husband." The guy is so stunned that he bolts, completely forgetting whatever he was mad about. Meanwhile, Jay clutches her chest. "Did I just hear that right?" Koki then informs her that Kiko got expelled from school for the trouble he caused. "I warned you to stay away from him," he adds. "And from now on, I'm your husband. You have to listen to me." Jay is dumbfounded. Husband from which dimension exactly? Koki offers to take her somewhere quieter, away from all the noise. Later, when they return, he asks her to wait while he gets her a drink. Suddenly, a sleazy guy tries to hit on her, but before he can get close, a striking man with piercing blue eyes steps in and pushes him away. When the man introduces himself, Jay is startled. They have the same last name. He smiles. "I know you must have a lot of questions, but save them for later." He takes her number before leaving. Koki returns, handing her the drink, and they sit together to watch the performances. One of the girls eyeing Koki makes Jay jealous, but she keeps her cool. "No way am I letting it show." Meanwhile, Say is off shamelessly flirting with other girls. Jay scoffs. If Reiki were here, she would have dragged him away by the collar. Irritated, she nudges Koki. "If you want to dance, go ahead. You seem to like the attention." Before he can respond, one of the girls pulls him onto the dance floor. Jay huffs, standing to the side like an awkward mess. She dances a little, but it's completely uncoordinated, more like a random flailing mess. Yet to Koki, it's the most entertaining thing in the world. He walks over, grinning. "You should dance with me instead." Just as they start getting into it, the music changes to a slow dance for couples. Koki leans in. "May I have this dance?" Jay hesitates, then nods. As they move, she places her hands on his shoulders. "Wow, I think I've loved him for a really, really long time." He rests his hand on her waist, pulling her close. The moment intensifies, and she loses herself in it, eventually leaning against his shoulder. Then, out of nowhere, Koki tilts her chin up and kisses her on the forehead, and at that moment Jay realizes, "I love him." Just as Koki starts leaning in closer, the screen fades to black. And to make things even worse, the next episode preview reminds us, oh right, Say actually did ace the exam. Now he's going to hound Jay about their bet to pick her favorite and kiss him in front of everyone. Will she do it, or will she chicken out? We'll find out in episode 13.